That's funny. I guess I should move this down some. I could have sworn I just turned off notifications, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I did not. We shall see. We shall see. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, okay. It's okay if it does that. But what I don't have up is my buddy. Bring my buddy on a Friday night. Let's see what we have going. There aren't very many chapters left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, happy endings are always nice. Happy, happy endings. Happy, happy endings. Hey, Raquel. What's good, mamacita? I feel like I need to bring this over here. But it's like, it's not a thing. Because apparently I'm just, I'm not super smart. Not today, anyway. We'll see. We shall see. La, la, la. Okay. So. Hola, mi amiga. ¿Cómo estás? Muy, muy bien. Muy, muy bien. So we have like 5 more chapters to go. 4 if you don't count the epilogue, but obviously I'm going to read the epilogue. And look what's left. Like, there's not that much left. It's just a little teeny sliver left. It's like, I probably should have turned my light on. I didn't think about that. My apologies. I'll get better at this. I'll swear it. So if you notice, there's something new. I added a little jar. So the jar is like, well, Raquel, you're on Facebook, so you're going to be like, this is not going to do me any good at all. But like if you were on Twitch, you know how you could do bits or follows or subscribes or money if you wanted to. Not saying you have to do that. Not at all. For reals, for reals. But there's like a little jar in there. I wonder if it'll do it if I do like a test widgets while we're on live, just so you can see what that looks like. Let's see. Raquel, how is it? Is the delay good or bad today? Let's see if you can see it. Da-na-na. See? Oh, and it's going to drop it in the jar. Bloop. Yay. I think that's funny. It's hilarious. All right, so for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, you're not sure? I think it's actually going pretty good. Like, I'm looking at the camera now and my mouth is moving. And now it's not moving, and now it's moving again. And it seems to be like doing in real time. It's a major blur. Really? It's blurry? Try Twitch. You want to try Twitch and see what happens? That just makes me sad. Oh my god, I'm so sad now that it's blurry. Why are you blurry? I don't want you to be blurry. I want you to be not blurry. That hurts my feelers. My feelings are hurt. Is it still blurry? It looks clear on my computer screen though, but you know, my computer don't know nothing. She be lying to me every day. Every day she be lying to me, my computer. Because she's just horrible in that sense. Do you want to see if it's like, is it blurry on Twitch too? Because man, now I gotta up my camera game is what you're telling me, Raquel. I've never heard that my image was blurry. Oh, it's another thing for me to write down. And go to my desk, my tale of woe. My tale of woe. So are you sure it's not Facebook doing it up? Let me look. I'm going to look. Hold on 1 second. Not saying I don't believe you. Hey, Millennial Bookworm. Thank you for the love. We have not yet, so you are A-OK. I'm actually checking my stream on Facebook because Raquel, love of my life, tells me that it's not clear. It's blurry today, which makes me sad. Makes me so sad. I saw that you got the book. I'm so excited for you. You definitely have to let me know what you think. I was actually talking to Renee today, and she was like, oh, you were able to get on Discord? Whoop, whoop. She was telling me today that we have to start writing like ASAP Rocky. So look out for book 2. Okay. Hopefully there's not too much feedback. I just want to check some stuff. Because if I need to up my camera game, I mean, shoots the boots. That's what I'll be doing. And then, of course, I went into my Facebook account through the back door. I hit the little thing that opens up all the gritty. Once Upon a Broken Heart. Girl, you be out there reading. How many books did you say you've read so far this year? I know, like, when I started, like, back to heavily reading again, it was, like, legit. Ooh, I need to try something, Raquel. Hold on. Let me see if I can try. Oh, I think I can only... Is it this one? Edit your stream title and description. What does that mean? What does it mean, Basil? I'm just finding out all kinds of stuff today, y'all. Y'all don't even know. 215. Wow. You are out there living your best life. I am so just excited for you. Alright, so I went to the Twitch chat. Let's see. Let me see what we look like on Facebook. Facebook, we love Facebook. Hey, Queen, how's it going? I'm about to start reading here in just a bit. I am checking something that I was told by my wonderful friend Raquel. If y'all didn't know, I've been like legit jamming on the English accent today. I was on playing Genshin earlier with Raquel, and Raquel was like, you've been living in that English accent for a while. Because I did it the night. I was doing it last night, right, Raquel? Yeah, last night, for sure. For shizzle. Okay, my computer's slow. And with that being said, I don't want to mess anything up. Raquel, can you do me a huge favor? Please? Pretty, please. Oh, here. Y'all hear that? I don't know if y'all hear that. Yeah, for almost 4 hours. I played Genshin for almost 4 hours yesterday, y'all. I was legit playing. Oh, cool. I'm glad you'll sit in for a few. I hope I can get this figured out. I don't know why my notifications are going off because I turned them off, but it's like my health one. You know, I get no respect in my house. Not a drop. of respect when it comes to the 2-year-old. Like, he could care less. I could be sleeping, eating, working. Heck, I could be crying and he's like, Tink, Tink. I mean, it feels good to be wanted. It really does. But there are some times when I'm just like, can I catch a break? And he's actually supposed to be asleep. But he ain't asleep. He ain't asleep at all. Okay, it's showing. Now I'm going to hit the play button, Raquel, and see. If you guys get feedback, just ignore it really quick. Oh my goodness, he just said G Mama's not listening to me. Like, he makes me feel like I'm like the horrible G Mama. Okay, it's not blurry for me, Raquel, but with that being said, Raquel, I still would like you to do me a big favor. Yeah, I know you're going to have to leave Twitch. I mean, leave Facebook. Do you mind? I mean, is the feedback better on Facebook via Twitch? Because I added some new stuff and I just want to see. Y'all, I'm on Twitch and stuff. Hey, Kay, thanks for joining. I'm going to start reading here in just a bit. And it's not a spiritual reading, just for those. I'm reading from an actual book, from a book that I wrote. But yeah, can you head over to Twitch and then just speak out when you're there? He's like not caring that I'm on live. He's like, tink, tink. But it looked clear on Facebook. But no, actually, oh, is the delay usually bad there? Okay, tell me if the delay is like bad there too. It's like you can never win with these things. You try to figure stuff out. While Raquel's doing that, I'm going to read the blurb to the back of the book and then we will get started. So we're starting chapter 8 tonight, guys, and I'm only going to read chapter 8, and I'm basically reading a chapter every Friday. So we're on chapter 8. This is a very short, skinny book, as you can tell. There's like 5 chapters left. This was part of the Indulgences series of books from myself and 11 other amazing offers. Free, yes, no questions. Yeah, you're free to ask questions if you want. By all means, ask a question. So here is the synopsis. And I'm a horrible reader. For those of you guys who are just joining in, Millennial and Raquel will say differently, but I'm going to be honest with you. I read horribly, but I try to do the best I can. If you put some technical documents in front of me, or even when I'm playing the video games, I sound amazing. But reading this book for whatever reason, and maybe it's because it's my own book and I get like all nervous and stuff. No. Okay. You're here in Blur Free? Okay, great. Great. Woo, woo, woo. All right. Let's see if this works. I don't know. Okay. Raquel. Yay, it worked. Do you see it on the screen? Okay, great. Here we go. Dumped by her boyfriend of 3 years just a few days before their anniversary and planned trip to an island paradise, a place where fantasies come true, a resort called Indulgences, it's ES on the end. Zoraida Lemies is forced to do a little soul searching, and what she discovers is not what she expected, especially when her best friend from childhood, Mateo Vargas, expresses an interest in being more than just friends. Now everything is up in the air, including her friendship with Mateo. One almost steamy night sets the two on a journey that Zoraida may or may not be ready for, but Mateo hopes she is, as the two indulge their fantasies with a game of hearts. So, I also offer lots of commentary. Y'all over here know this. Y'all over here know this kept going, not keep. On Facebook, it kept going in and out, unfocused, everything kept going. Oh, okay. So we're good here now. Woo, woo. And you can see the message, right? You see how I can pin the messages now? Like, I'm like slowly trying to move my people over to another platform. It's working out okay. It's slow going, but we'll get there. All right, so she's on the island. She's taking her best friend Mateo with her. We all know that. They were just about to get hot and heavy. It got a little hot and heavy. There was some petting, some smooches. He did a little, mouth action on her, and then she put the brakes on, which upset him. And so he shook the spot, kicked rocks, right? Doesn't come back to the hotel the entire night. Then the next day, she shows up to get her indulgence experience, only to find that Mateo's gone on his own little excursion. And so now she's on her way. Raquel says she's excited for the commentary. I'm going to pin that. So now she is on her way to her private island experience, sans Mateo, because he's gone off and done his own little thing. But it's her own fault, right? It's her own fault. She should not have put the halts on. She shouldn't have halted him. She should have just like let him be and do what he wanted to do, because that's what she wanted anyway. But you know, sometimes we forget those things. Okay. So, chapter 8 is from Zori's perspective. The trip to my new location was quick, less than 15 minutes by air taxi. It was the first time I'd ever flown in a Cessna. The waves were a little rough, but for the most part, the landing was okay. How do I get to the island? I could see it right in front of me, a beautiful paradise to be sure. The green-blue water with its white foam glided back and forth, caressing the sand. In the distance, I could hear whales. Well, it was February. It was one of the reasons I had wanted to come to Indulgences to begin with. But now I had a small dilemma: how to navigate to the island. The pilot pointed, and that was when... See how I read? It's okay though, right? It's okay. It's okay. And that was when I saw a little black boat making its way over to us as the plane swayed back and forth in the water. There was a man and woman handling the boat. They grabbed my things and helped me into the boat until I felt comfortable enough to sit. It was obvious I was not dressed appropriately. Well, of course, you're going to a private island. I wore sandals with a pretty high wedge, and my dress was entirely too long and kept getting tangled around my legs. I am Javier, and this is my daughter, Patricia. We're here to help during your stay. Thank you. I'm Zoraida, but everyone just calls me Zori. Patricia was possibly a year or two younger than me, possibly more. She was tanned from her time out in the sun, and her father was fit for his age with barely any gray hair in his head. Or barely any gray in his hair. And I make up words too. Y'all know this, right? I make up words. Both wore comfortable clothing, something I should have thought of. Am I the first one here? No, a man and a woman came before you. They're at the house now, Javier said as he and his daughter rowed us to shore. My shoes can't be saved, but I didn't complain. They weren't my most expensive pair, and when my sandaled feet hit the sand, I sank. A man and a woman. But I was going to be the only woman. So she's on this supposedly deserted island, right? And as Javier and Patricia have explained, there was another, we don't know if they're a couple. They don't call them a couple. They just say a man and woman has arrived. Are we hoping it's Mateo? I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, obviously it's got to be, Mateo has to be one of them, right? Right. Okay. You're going to want to take those off. There is a pair of water shoes in the boat so you can walk around the island. The sand is soft, but sometimes there can be bits and pieces of coral in it. You don't want to cut your feet, Patricia shared. Thank you for the tip. Patricia nodded, but said nothing else as she and her father showed me to the house. Little caveat. So I like to give my character names. If they don't name themselves, I like to give them names of people that I've met or come in contact with. Patricia, I use her first and last name, but in two separate books. So in this book, I used her first name. And a book I wrote under J.K. Rivers, I used her last name. So, yeah, just a little caveat there. So Patricia nodded but said nothing else as she and her father showed me to the house, which wasn't a house at all. It looked more like an estate. It was a Spanish colonial that boasted a beautiful courtyard. Now I understood what open concept meant. There were no windows. There were doors, or rather archways. It was as if you were outside yet inside. If it rained while I was here, depending on what part of the house I occupied and how the wind blew, it would be wet. There were coconut palms lining the walkway up to the house. A towering entryway with a large spiral stairway wound around the open courtyard. There were potted plants placed around the house that gave it an indoor yet outdoor feel. A dining area and a wide open-air kitchen took up the center of the house. There was no oven, but there was a cooking hearth. And I have the picture saved on my computer desktop of what this house looks like. And of course I had to search and do my research. But as I'm describing it, I can see the picture in my head. I don't know if you guys can too, but we'll see. We'll keep going. The only reason I knew what it was because of my mother's childhood home. back in Cuba. My grandmother had a working hearth. I looked around some more and found a shower and a bathroom that looked to be more outside than in. There were 3 bedrooms upstairs, each with a bed and a mosquito netting. Each with a bed and mosquito netting. So you know, like when you stay in like Costa Rica or something, right? And especially if you stay in the tropical part of Costa Rica, because Costa Rica has 2 parts. They have like this tropical part, and then they have this like Pacific Islander part, which is like where the mountains are and it's a little bit colder. But if you stay in the tropical parts, the bedroom, especially if you stay in one of their eco-friendly houses, and I think that's where I got this idea from. As I'm talking about it, it's all coming back to me. The bed has mosquito netting, like that white, silky looking gauze thing, because there's lots of mosquitoes and you don't want to get bit. So at night, so you don't get chewed up, you go and you drop the netting down on the bed and, whatever, do what you do. The 4-poster bed in the master suite was massive. As I toured the house, there was still no sign of my mystery guests, yet I was told they had arrived before me. It was almost time for lunch. Would they be joining me? Did I even want company? I was still upset that Mateo hadn't responded to my text and I couldn't get service out here on the island. I'd checked. There were candles and scones that held torches all throughout the home. Kimberly had not been playing around. There was no electricity. Javier had explained that he'd be back to light them before it became dark. Patricia showed my things in the master bedroom. Or stowed, I'm sorry, not showed. Josiah, I will come and get you in just a little bit. And welcome to the everyday life of being a grandmama. You're okay. It's so time for him to go to bed. Patricia stowed my things in the master bedroom and said I could freshen up while she prepared lunch. She also suggested that I try to wear something a little more island friendly. I went with a red sarong and a black bikini. Ooh, those are very dashing colors. Mosquito netting never worked for you? Really? Why not? Oh, okay. Mosquito netting never worked for Raquel. So where did you say that you had to use mosquito netting? I'm curious. I piled my hair on top of my head and decided that since I was in the house, I'd pad around barefoot. The tile floor was cool and the heat outside wasn't uncomfortable, but I could still feel it. This isn't so bad. It wasn't, but now I was on pins and needles about who the mystery guy was and what would happen next. We all know who the mystery guy is, right? Like, I hope we know who the mystery guy is. Do we know who the mystery guy is? Do you know who the mystery guy is? It has to be Mateo. Like, if it's not Mateo, then the story just doesn't. Oh, Girl Scout camp? I can honestly say I've never gone to a Girl Scout camp. Thank you for the likes, Millennial Bookworm. I saw them. So now we're on to the next section. And it's from Zori's perspective. Would you like to take your lunch out on the veranda? Patricia asked. She'd changed her clothing as well. She wore a skin-tight dress that looked painted on. She was cute. I'd give her that. But seriously, was it necessary? Her long brown hair hung loosely down her back and she wore a little too much makeup. Do you have a hot date tonight? I asked. I didn't want to be rude, but maybe she did have a guy she was meeting and just wanted to be prepared so when it came time for her to leave, she'd be ready to go. You're on a secluded island, I thought to myself. True. The beach was 5 miles wide, and the house sat back in the dense forest enclosed snugly within its jungle terrain. But there was a boat. I mean, she could get on a boat and go on a date. She could island hop, go here, go there. It could happen. No, I'm dressed this way because Kimberly asked me to. You and I are both here for the same reason. We were? What reason is that? Why, a game of hearts, of course. You're looking for a husband, as am I. Oh, hell no. How would y'all feel if you are sitting down about to have lunch on your private island that you paid to have a fantasy for, and another woman who's also the daughter of said island butler, if you will, says, oh no, I'm here for the same reason you're here for. I'm here to find me a husband. Now remember, the dude said 1 man, 1 woman. So it's basically 2 women, 1 man, and I guess he gets to choose. Now, obviously, because we know, duh, her bestie that she brought with her, Mateo, he's got to be the guy. I'm laughing because when I wrote this, I don't think I was going for that reaction, but now that I'm reading it out loud, I'm kind of like, okay, dude, game on, right? And then she says it's a game of hearts, so game on. Game on! Okay, now just hold on one second. A game of hearts? I hadn't signed up for some game. Be open to the adventure. I could almost hear Kimberly's voice inside my head, although her exact words were meant for me to say yes, to be open. But I wasn't about to play a game. I followed Patricia out to the veranda where lunch had been set up, and there, sitting at the table, was Mateo. We already knew Mateo was coming, though. Y'all knew this. We knew this because the story can't move forward without the main hero, right? Right. Okay. So Zori has competition now. Now she's got young, hot freshness Patricia to contend with. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, wait. No. I'm sorry. There's another woman there. There's 3 women. Oh. Okay, so I guess the daughter is just playing part of a role. I wrote this a while ago. This is why I like to reread my books. And another woman. She was blonde with long hair, and she wore a gold bikini top, white sarong, and sandals that probably cost more than my rent. I had looked at the other rooms of the house, and they weren't nearly as big as mine, but I didn't know if that was a good thing or not. With Maddie here, I suddenly felt very uncomfortable. Not due to his presence, but because of the blonde who eyed me up and down. Mateo. Mateo stood when I reached the table. I'm feeling bad for Zori right now, and I'm getting embarrassed too as I'm reading this. Zori, I'm glad you came. Well, I didn't have much of a choice. This is the trip that I booked after all. It would have been nice if you told me where you went last night. Instead of answering me, he tossed me a lopsided grin. I knew what that meant. Whatever he'd been trying to do had worked. He wanted me to worry about him. Well, duh, you stopped dude in his tracks the night before, and he left you in the hotel. What did you think was going to happen? Well, are you going to tell me where you were last night? The blonde cleared her throat. Oh, snap. I can answer that question for you. Mateo was with me. Hold the mother fluffing phone. But we all know Mateo is like, he's not a serial dater, but he's like suave and smooth and he's got moves. So he was hanging out with the blonde last night. I looked between him and the blonde and sneered. I had a horrible poker face. I wore my feelings on my sleeve. It was a flaw I'd never be able to overcome. I'm Portia, by the way. Why her name gotta be Portia? Because I named her that. Portia didn't even stand, but she did offer her flawlessly manicured hand to me. I didn't want to seem like a baby, so I took her hand and shook it. Score 1 for Zori. Or at least I tried to. She barely touched me. Okay, I don't know if you guys know this handshake that I'm trying to describe here. But you know the handshake. Have you ever met a person who walked up to you and you like legit hold out your hand, right? I gotta position the camera right. Like you hold out your hand and they literally do this. Not this. Not this. I have 2 screens going. Not this, but they do this. Those people, y'all just basically said, we are not worth your time. We're just gonna lightly dab the shake. I don't like those handshakes. But anyway, so then why offer the hand? So, you and Portia, I asked, taking a seat at the table. I propped my elbows up with my hands folded in front of me and placed my chin on top as I waited for an answer. Yeah, but not like that, Zori. I was out walking around and we bumped into each other and got to talking. Next thing I knew, it was morning. That's a connection. I don't care what anybody say. That's a love connection. You just sat and talked all night with another woman after you left the hotel of your best friend who you've been wanting to get with. And now you talking all night. Okay, that's an emotional connection. Was I nowhere on your mind, I wanted to ask. Quite the conversation you two must have had to end up here. You could have at least responded to my text, Maddie. Maddie. Mateo turned to look at Patricia, who was also seated at the table with us. Mateo blushed, actually blushed. It's what Zori calls me. Okay, here's the curse words. I curse like a sailor, but I try not to do this when my grandbaby is up and he's not around. So here we go. Yeah, bitch. Only me. I like Maddie. That was internal dialogue, by the way. She doesn't say that out loud, although it probably would have been funny if she had. I like Maddie. May I call you that as well? Portia piped in. He didn't even hesitate. He smiled widely, and told both women they could call him Maddie. Really? Oh, come on, Zori. It's just a name. It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything? It did mean something. It meant something to me. I guess it doesn't. I sat quietly and dug into the fruit salad that sat in front of me. You ladies get settled into your rooms? Everyone nodded their heads in response to Mateo's question. Oh, he's so gentlemanly, isn't he? He's just so sweet. Oh, did you guys all get settled into your rooms? Everyone nodded their heads in response to Mateo's question. Tonight, we will have dinner out on the beach, and then we can all spend some time getting to know each other. The whole purpose of this is to see if we're compatible, and at the end of the week, I'll be able to decide which of you lucky ladies has the honor of winning my heart. This man. Whew. Okay, Maddie. I almost choked on my drink. Instantly, Mateo was there, slapping me harshly on the back. Are you okay, Zori? I turned and looked over at him with a glare. How dare he hijack my fantasy? How dare he come here and put me through this? First, he wanted me, and now he had his pick of the litter. This was so not going to happen. If he wanted to play a game, fine, I'd play. Okay, so tell me this, Maddie. I emphasized his name. What happens if one of us wins your heart? His lips tilted up into a sexy grin, and my mind flashed back to yesterday. Those lips had been on my body, doing delicious things to me. We could have gone all the way, if not for me opening my mouth and ruining it. Was I prepared to play the game to win my best friend's heart? He'd turned me down once before. Who was to say he wouldn't do it again? Then I'm yours. The way he said it, his voice got lower, and he looked at me. Not them, me. Patricia smiled widely. Why can't I talk tonight? Widely. And Portia, well, her dainty little blonde ass got up and parked itself right in Mateo's lap. Oh, and now we sitting in people's laps? Maddie, she said in a pouty voice. Remember, I don't do voices. I'm sorry, guys. I know, it's horrible. Where is your room? I only saw 3. He placed his hands on his hips. On her hips, He placed his hands on her hips to hold her steady before saying, I'll sleep in one of the 3 bedrooms with one of you. It just depends on how I feel. But tonight, we're all downstairs. Great. He got to bed hop during this little adventure. An adventure that was supposed to be mine. Hold the phone. And I let him bed hop. I don't know. Like I said, there's only 5 more chapters left. Well, 4 now, because chapter 9 we start on next Friday. So let's talk about this for a second, as my allergies just kill me over here. And I just hurt myself with my nose ring. Okay. So, Mateo. Oh, yeah, she did. She just did get in his lap, Raquel. That's exactly what she did. And I'm going to tell y'all a little story. Y'all know I got stories. Because all of these come from some sort of experience, whether I saw it, or I experienced it, or I witnessed it, or I peeked it out in a show and was like, oh, that's a good little, scenario. Way back in the day, when the buffaloes roamed and the Indians shot their arrows at their enemies, I was at a barbecue. And we're all sitting at the table. We're playing spades. It's 2 girls, 2 guys playing at the table spades. If you guys don't know what spades is, it's a card game. It's like one of the best card games. It's also an emotional card game. So we're sitting at the table playing spades at a barbecue, right? And there's other people there. There's probably like 15 people there, all chatting it up, having fun, drinking their 40s, they highball, 8-ball, whatever you want to call it. Because that's what we did way back in the days when the buffaloes roamed and the Indians shot at their enemies, right? And my bestie at the time was sitting there, and her boyfriend was on my team, and then my then boyfriend was on her team. We, swapped it out. Not in that aspect, by the way, but we swapped it out. And so we're sitting there, we're playing the game and whatnot. And when I tell you, I saw her, I clocked her out the corner of my eye. I just said, somebody's swaying a little bit too much. And sure enough, she was making a straight beeline towards our table, which was fine. I mean, when you play spades like that, you usually tend to gather a crowd, especially if it's a good game and people are talking stuff to each other back and forth. So, playing spades, right? Girls coming, already clocked her. I wasn't worried. I was just thinking she was coming to the crowd. No. That's not what she did. She went and sat on my bestie's boyfriend's lap. Like kerplump, wrapped her arm around his shoulder, had a drink in her hand, laughing and carrying on, and then proceeded to kiss him. Y'all all know how that ended, right? I don't have to tell you anymore, do I? I don't have to explain to you that it went down that day. It went so down. And it was just one of those moments. And I remember when I was writing that, I was like, ooh, should I write a fight scene? But then I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. But I'm still going to make it saucy enough to where you like, oh no, she didn't just sit in his lap. That was bold, like big brass and bold. Like she had like a huge pair of just like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and it don't matter what nobody say. But yeah. I wonder what's going to happen in chapter 9. When did I write this? What year was this? Oh, 2017. That's why I don't remember everything, because my brain. But yeah, I mean, can you imagine, what would y'all do if that happened to you? You at a barbecue, you playing spades or a card game, any game at that matter. And let's not say it's your bestie. What if it happened to you? If it happened to you and some girl came and sat in your dude's lap, what would you do? Be honest. I want to hear some honest feedback. Tell me. I am listening. What would you do, Millennial Bookworm? What would you do? Raquel, what would you do? Whoever else is watching, what would you do? Would you sit there? Would you be like, oh, hell no? Oh, he took her life in her hands. Wait, Raquel. Oh my God, I love it. She goes, Ho took her life in her hands. So Raquel's basically saying girl's going to catch some chunkums. She about to catch fists left and right. She about to catch these hands. Which, if that had happened to me, that probably would have been the same thing too. Even though I'm not confrontational. But when you're in a crowd like that, you don't have a choice. Like, you don't want to be that person like, what should I have done? You're just going to react because, like, everybody's watching. Millennial, what about you? What would you do if somebody came and sat on your man's lap and kissed him? Let's not forget the kiss. Would the tables get tossed? Would we be tossing tables and throwing chairs? Because I think that's what would have been my move. My move would have been like a Hulk, like table flying, smashing. I'm just Hulk smash over and over. I'm just saying. Raquel said, me neither, but exactly. You never know till you get pushed in the corner. Now, if it was a dude I didn't really care about, I probably would just like give him some heat and be like, oh, for real? It's like that? Okay. Be gone. But if it was somebody I really, really cared about, Millennial says she be getting some backup. Oh, you gonna get your girls? It's gonna be a party? Oh, yeah. Virgos are not known to be forgiven. Okay, go ahead. Shoot your shot. Go for it. Beazle Beers. Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear. Okay, what you gotta say? If you say something really bad, I'm gonna feel real. Tell you a little something that you might like to hear. Oh, wait, is he rapping? We got a rap going on? Okay, keep going. I hope it's good. Let's keep it clean. We got a rap going on over here on Twitch, I think. Methinks, Raquel. So far we got it. I'm going to shoot my shot. Here I go. Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear. Tell you a little something that you might like to hear. Let's drop some more beats. Someone would need to hold my earrings. Right? You be wearing them big earrings? Are you an around the way girl like LL said with the big gold chains? Oh, it's the Yin Yang Twins. Oh, I like the Yin Yang Twins. I have a grandbaby, so if I read it out loud, it might not be good. But thank you, love. That was nice. Big hearts. Mwah. See, I be in a Latin sorority, so something like that happened. They don't stand a chance. Ooh, they be fighting in them sororities, sorors. My sister joined a sorority. Dude, hoop earrings. Yes, you would have to take those out, sweetheart, because if she tugged on your ear, ow, ow, ow. I had my grandbaby do that once when he was little. Pull my earring, almost ripped my ear off. And babies have like that super powerful grip. Thank you for the likes. Okay. So what did you guys think of chapter 8? Was it chapter 8? Yeah, it was chapter 8. We've got chapter 9, chapter 10, chapter 9. Y'all, I just noticed something. There are 2 chapter 10s in this book. For shame on my formatter and on me for not catching that. Is it the same chapter? No. Okay, so we've got 9, 10, 11, which says 10. That's funny. And what should have been 11 that says 10, right after 10 comes 12. And then the epilogue. Yes. And then my beautiful picture in the back. A beautiful picture in the back. That's hilarious. I wonder if anybody else picked up on that, because I got literally no email on the fact that there were 2 chapter 10s in the book, like at all. So, yeah. Hoop earrings. Woo woo. Woo woo for the hoop earrings. All right, beautiful people of the planet Earth. Babies have a grip that should not be possible. Exactly. They do. They really do. Like, for real. Baby grips, they are like super, super strong. It's like, I don't know, when we're born with superpowers, and as we get older and we lose our imagination, we lose our superpowers. Except for me, my superpower is writing love stories and action. Just saying. All right, I'm gonna go now. Bye. I'm gonna hang up here. Have a good one. All right, Miss Raquel. Have a good one. That's so tight. I like that now. Dun, 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 dun. I need to get like end music. For real, Raquel, I'm going now.